Silent horror villains have a unique power that sets them apart from their more talkative counterparts. Without dialogue, they rely entirely on presence, physicality, and mystery, elements that often make them far more terrifying. Their silence becomes a weapon, stripping away humanity and leaving only cold, unreadable menace. This creates tension audiences can feel even before the first scare lands. Many of horror's most iconic figures speak sparingly or not at all, but a select few build their entire legacy on silence. Their masks, movements, or monstrous designs do the talking, letting viewers project their worst fears onto them. This lack of explanation or motive elevates their threat, making them unpredictable and unforgettable. These villains prove that a character doesn't need words to become a nightmare. Their quiet approach is exactly what makes them so enduring, and so chilling. Art the Clown, Terrifier. Terrifier's Art the Clown is one of modern horror's most disturbing silent killers, relying on exaggerated mime-like expressions rather than speech. His silence enhances his unpredictability, making every wide grin and theatrical gesture feel wrong. Art's disturbing physicality allows him to switch instantly from playful to sadistic, creating an unsettling tension that builds throughout his appearances. What makes Art particularly terrifying is how he embraces silence as part of his identity. He treats murder as performance art, using props, poses, and body language to mock both his victims and the audience. The absence of dialogue makes his cruelty feel even more personal, as if he's communicating through pure malice. Art's silent nature also amplifies his supernatural undertones. He appears to survive death, reassemble himself, and return without reason. His wordless presence removes any chance of understanding him, making him one of horror's most chilling modern icons. Mahogany, Midnight Meat Train. Mahogany is the quiet butcher of Midnight Meat Train, a towering, stoic figure who stalks late-night subway passengers with ritualistic precision. His silence reflects his discipline. He's not a chaotic killer but a methodical one, operating like a machine. This lack of speech strips him of personality, turning him into an efficient tool of slaughter. Mahogany's wordless commitment to his gruesome task makes him even more frightening. He follows rules the audience doesn't understand, carving victims for reasons hidden until the film's shocking conclusion. His silence makes him unreadable, and the absence of threats or boasts removes any sense of predictability. When the truth behind Mahogany's mission is revealed, his quiet dedication becomes even more horrifying. He isn't a monster by choice but by duty, serving a purpose older and darker than himself. His silence becomes a symbol of submission to something truly monstrous. Snorky, the Banana Splits Movie. Snorky's transformation from a cheerful children's character into a silent killing machine is one of horror's most underrated and thrilling. Once a friendly animatronic elephant, Snorky becomes menacing the moment his programming breaks. His silence is eerie, contrasting with his bright costume and playful design in deeply unsettling ways. A terrifying reinvention of the classic children's characters, the Banana Splits Movie transforms the fuzzy quartet into murderous animatronics. Much like in the original show, Snorky is the only member of the troupe who cannot speak, communicating through a series of honking noises. Yet this feels even more intimidating. The lack of speech initially strips Snorky of any innocence, suggesting only malfunctioning machinery driven by corrupted directives. As the children convince Snorky to aid them, his silence suddenly makes him less threatening. Nevertheless, his quiet, lumbering pursuit and unpredictable behavior make him an unforgettable entry into the world of silent horror antagonists. Krampus. Krampus brings ancient folklore to life with terrifying effectiveness, and part of his power lies in his absolute silence. Unlike many cinematic monsters, Krampus doesn't growl, taunt, or chant. He simply appears, towering and demonic, letting his massive presence speak for him. His silence makes him feel ancient and otherworldly. As a dark counterpart to Santa Claus, Krampus punishes rather than rewards. His lack of speech emphasizes the contrast, making him a cold, judgmental force rather than a character with a personality. Every bell, chain, and stomp communicates more than words ever could. Krampus' silence also reinforces his role as an unstoppable supernatural being. He doesn't explain his motives because he doesn't need to, he embodies them. His quiet approach, paired with his horrifying design, transforms a holiday legend into a nightmare. The entity, It Follows Radius TWC. The entity from It Follows is one of horror's most original silent threats. It never speaks, never rushes, and never hesitates. It simply walks toward its target without stopping. This slow, relentless pursuit makes it terrifying because it cannot be reasoned with or distracted. Silence is its defining feature and its greatest weapon. Its ability to take any form makes its wordlessness even more disturbing. The entity may appear as a stranger, a loved one, or a horrifying figure, but it never communicates. This lack of dialogue transforms each encounter into a puzzle, as characters must constantly question if someone approaching them is human or death. The entity's silence represents inevitability. It follows without malice, emotion, or explanation, embodying dread itself. Its quiet persistence forces characters to confront paranoia, making it one of horror's most memorable modern villains. The Creeper, Jeepers Creepers. The Creeper is a monstrous force of nature whose silence makes him even more terrifying throughout the Jeepers Creepers movies. While he occasionally vocalizes growls or screams, he never speaks an intelligible word, maintaining an air of animalistic unpredictability. His silence underscores his alien nature, suggesting motivations far beyond human understanding. As a predator who hunts through scent and fear, the Creeper's lack of dialogue enhances his primal instincts. He observes his victims with unsettling calm, choosing who to pursue based on what he can harvest from them. This wordless selection process, exemplified in Jeepers Creepers 2, becomes one of the series' most disturbing elements. The Creeper's silent approach amplifies the dread of his attacks. His wings, weapons, and grotesque rituals do the talking. Every expression, sniff, or tilt of the head communicates hunger, making him one of the genre's most uniquely frightening silent predators. Sam, Trick or Treat. Sam is a silent enforcer of Halloween tradition, appearing in Trick or Treat as small and childlike but embodying the spirit of the holiday itself. Under his burlap mask, Sam hides a grotesque pumpkin-headed form, but he still never utters a word. Instead, he communicates through gestures, actions, and the consequences he delivers to those who disrespect Halloween. Sam's quiet, methodical behavior makes him unpredictable and eerie. In the first few stories in the anthology horror movie, Sam was primarily a haunting presence, a silent observer relishing the carnage. However, the final story flaunts his true potential, unleashing his holiday-themed carnage on Brian Cox. Sam's silence in Trick or Treat then highlights his